It's really awesome. It's not like those memes where the girl hugs her boyfriend and there's a whole eyebrow print left on his white t-shirt. That's not gonna happen. What is up, you guys? Thanks so much for coming to see another video. Today, obviously, what's standing out on my face right now? These brows. I'm going to show you guys how I do my brows. I haven't done a video like this before. I think some people may actually like it and want to know how I do them. Some people struggle with brows. I'm really glad that I got my method down packed. Hope y'all like my brows. I like them. But yeah, I just want to kind of go through an in-depth tutorial of how I do them, what I use, products and everything. So yeah, if you guys want to see how I do my brows on a daily basis, then keep on watching. Alright guys, so I'm about to show you how I get my brows done every day. I always start with a clear face just like this. Go ahead and put on like moisturizer, and I also try and put on my primer too before I do my brows, because I always do it afterwards and then it's kind of hard to work around. But I never used to do my brows like this, like doing them before your actual foundation, but believe it or not, it really helps. Like, gets your brows that fleekiness. It really helps get your brows carved out. Really, just if you ever see Instagram pictures where the brows are just like bam, that's how you do it. You do your brows first, and some people do it after their foundation, then go around it with concealer. But I always have the issue of getting the foundation to move underneath when I'm putting the concealer on my brows. That's what always happens to me, so I like to do the brows completely first and then work around them later. Kinda is weird at first, but you will get used to it. You just gotta keep doing it. You will get used to it and it'll be no problem. So first thing I'm going to start with is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Pomade. This stuff was really popular way back in the day. I guess not way back in the day, but it was pretty popular. Everyone was using it and everyone had one color brows, very just filled in, let's just say that. I still like my brows filled in. You can see like I have a lot of brow hairs, but I have gaps too. I'm happy with my natural brows. I really like them. Okay, so I use the color Blonde. This is actually pretty used. When I first bought a pan or pot of this, I did not use it that often because I didn't know how to use it. After a while though, you kind of learn how to maneuver how much or how little you like to use and how you like to apply it and what you apply it with. Look at my head, you guys. I just got back from Florida, the beach. We got burnt on the last day we were there, which is so funny because we hadn't gotten burnt at the beach the last 4 days. The last day we get burnt and my scalp is burnt, literally. No. So up close, it just kind of looks like a big hot mess like this. And then I use a little brush like this. I don't even know where I got this brush from, you guys. I'm just being honest, but this is what I like to apply it with. Find a brush like this, angled, and make sure it's stiff enough. And you can probably do your brows like that. Some people really just brush them up, but I don't have that many brow hairs to kind of play with. I don't have bushy brows or anything like that, so if you do, I'd probably just brush them a little bit, clean up the hairs, and then honestly I just go straight into it, draw out my brow. Now this can be a pretty messy process, not gonna lie. I'm not really gonna be ashamed about anything that I do in this video because this is just what I do. And you guys can see I have brows. If you guys prefer natural brows, you can do that too with just like a brow tint and just brush out your brows, carve up the edges anywhere you may have gotten product, and I mean that's fine too. It's just your personal preference. And then I kind of like to accentuate my arch on my brows because my arch obviously is not that high, and I'll tame it a little bit once I carve it out in a second. But yeah, nothing of this process right now is neat. I do this every day before work, and I'll go ahead and do the next one same way. I guess I should show you guys about how much I put on my brush. So I put about that much product on my brush, if you can see. I just kind of coat the little edge of the brush. Use that, it pretty much goes a long way. You could probably use less, but I like to make sure my brow is completely colored throughout, because sometimes, and you'll see, it may brush away. I like this pomade better than brow pencils too, because you know I quit using this pomade like a few years ago and started using brow pencils, and while I didn't lose brow hairs, like they kept coming back, but brow pencils really do pull out your brow hairs. You will lose hairs when you use a brow pencil. That's just the way it is. And I find that I lose less with the pomade because it's soft. So I just grab a spoolie of any sort. This one is just a small, really skinny one. I don't prefer this one, but it's the cleanest decent looking one I have right now. So I just go through, and also I didn't tell you guys this. When I put on the pomade, I left the very front area bare. I didn't put any product there. So I didn't start with the pomade all the way up here, all the way over here. I started just right behind. Just so when I do this next step, it will look blending and like faded. It'll look nice and natural. So I just go through and I kind of just brush back and forth, and then I brush up, and then I keep doing that until that color of the pomade mixes to the front of the brow. That way you don't have a big block of an eyebrow when you get done. So you can see already just that little bit I did has my brow up at the front looking really light and looking like blended. So then once I feel like that's good, I don't overdo it, I just start brushing them up, making sure the product's mixed in there, and then brushing the rest out. Because the pomade's kind of like a gel, it kind of slicks down your hairs wherever you leave them. So if you brush them out, kind of helps your brows get a little more like airy. I always lose product right here, but sometimes it will kind of work itself out when I carve out the brows in a minute. And then other times I just fill it in with a pencil. Then I'm going to take my same brush again and go back up here with any leftover product. Which this has actually been happening to me a lot lately. I think like hairs grow there or something that changes like how my brows go on every once in a while. It's kind of annoying. Everyone goes through it where you just have bad brow days. Another thing I did not mention to you guys yet, and this is a little side note, when you're brushing your brows up and you want this particular brow look, and you brush the hairs up right here, if your hairs are really long, it's not going to look as sleek and as nice and carved out unless you trim the edge. So I just take little scissors like this, and then I just go straight across, kind of at the length I like it. So I just personally know where I like to cut mine at. They're not really due right now. Like here's one little hair I could get, but that's about it. So just a little side note, if you want to trim, some people don't do their own brows. I do. For some reason lately I've been doing my brow on this side very low. Right now you're like, okay girl, they're looking kind of rough. I know, don't worry. So I got and found the most perfect little brush to carve out my brows with. This little brush came in an LA Girl eyeshadow palette, and I seen it and immediately was like, that's gonna be my eyebrow brush. I love it. And it's just kind of hard to find one that's just the perfect size. That's just my preference. You can use one that's double or triple this size if that works for you. This would be my absolute favorite because it's precise. I used to use one kind of like it, which was this one, which I've now stained with lipstick after repurposing it. This one worked pretty good for a while, but it's really stiff. Then you take your favorite concealer. This is a lighter concealer. When you use a lighter concealer to carve out your brows and you're using a dark foundation, it's gonna look a little funny. Just keep that in mind when you're carving out your brows. This is actually too light. Just for the purpose of the video, I'm gonna use it because I really like it and I can kind of maneuver it and I know how to work it. Then I literally will just take it like this, and then I take my brush and then I just kind of dab on a slight amount and I use that to start carving out my brows. So I start underneath the brow and I kind of know how I like it now. For you, it'll just take practice how you want yours, and if you're gonna start at an angle, if you're gonna start straight across, or however, this is how I like to start mine. Kind of like that. And I just do a bunch of little strokes until I reach the height or, you know, the area I want to be in. Just being careful because don't want to mess up everything you just did. You will see that your brush will go over small little hairs that are under there. That's okay. You can't really see it anyway, so don't freak out if that happens. blend out the concealer underneath, kind of like that. And then I just take it down the tail of my brow like that. So in the event that you get concealer on some of the brow hairs, you can just take a little pencil in the same color, of course, and then just kind of draw over it. Not draw on your skin. I'm literally saying just rub the pencil on the only hair that has the concealer, and that will help kind of wipe it off. And if you're lucky, color it back. I kind of just ran over the very bottom of the brow with the pencil because I got my concealer a little too high up there and I didn't like that. So I think they're basically to my liking now. Now I'm gonna go back over the little sparse areas with a little pencil. This is a tiny little pencil. This is just a cheap one from Ruby. No, this is actually from Absolute New York. I get it at this local wig and beauty supply store I have here. They're like everywhere, and they always have really cheap but, you know, decent products. One last brush out very easily. When you're brushing it out at the end, brush very lightly because this is a masterpiece that you just created and you don't want to ruin it or create any more sparse areas. The good thing about the pomade though is that it dries. I was on vacation just a few days ago and I was in the hotel doing my makeup. Like I just told y'all in the very beginning, I was putting on my moisturizer, my brows were done, then I put on my primer. I put a dab on my face and I went whoop, all the way up my brow, all over my brow, and I was like, I just did my eyebrows. Oh no, when I looked in the mirror, they're flawless. Like they did not even mess up. So the pomade dries really quick, keeps your brows in place. It's really awesome. It's not like those memes where the girl hugs her boyfriend and there's a whole eyebrow print left on his white t-shirt. That's not gonna happen. Last but not least, we are going to apply. This is NYX brow tint. Of course, this is in blonde also, and I just kind of run over the top part of my brows. I don't go in depth with this at all. I only use it sometimes. I don't use it all the time. A lot of the times I'll just use a clear brow gel, call it a day. This is it, and that looks fine. But I also like to use this. I had this for a while, did not use it because I didn't like it. I didn't think it looked right because it's blonder than this blonde pomade is. But I used it not long ago and I thought, wow. And I also heard a girl talk about her brows, and I don't remember who it was, but she said your brows need to have color dimensions, and I'm thinking that's just so extra, I don't even want to bother. When I use this, and I just take a little spoolie and I just run through lightly the front of my brows, it just gives it sort of like a fresh, like fluffy look. And I take the other side and do the exact same thing. Brush up the front. And that is basically it, you guys. I really hope that y'all found this tutorial helpful. I hope some of you guys will, you know, get your answers that you've been looking for on brows, because I feel like brows are I feel like brows are a really huge part of makeup now. I had a friend many years ago, like 2010, and she used to tell me, because she went to cosmetology school, that brows are part of your makeup and you gotta do your brows. So that's when I started doing my brows. They were horrific. I was just drawing on some random shape. They were triangle in the front and really long, and it was just no. But everyone goes through it. Everyone has bad eyebrow pictures. So I mean, that may be you right now. Who knows? But just know you'll get better if you keep doing it and keep learning. And if you don't like it, just do something new. Keep trying. So yeah, if you guys have any questions, let me know. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll give you a close-up and then we'll be done. always have like a little sparse area right here because the hairs just will not grow there. When I did start doing my brows though, brow hairs grew in this arch right here, and I wasn't just drawing that on at first. I mean, this was way back in the day, so it was really embarrassing. Did not even have a clue how to do my brows, but the brows just started to grow there. I mean, it was amazing. It was better than any serum that you can get. They just started to grow because I started to draw and do stuff in the area, so maybe that'll, you know, work for you guys.